Okay, so I've been neglecting making a new video, but I'm not above taking advantage of a bad situation. So here I am. I guess the title is pretty self-explanatory, but Bionicle Massive Power has been canceled by Lego in some fashion. I actually have not read the actual article before going into this because I thought it'd be fun to see my, I guess, immediate reaction. So I've been waiting to read it until now. I Somebody in a Discord server I'm in posted about this like earlier today. So that's where I got the idea. This is honestly just really bad news right out the gate. This is obviously not good, but yes, I'll get into it. So this is from Dexerto.com. It looks like it's a website that talks about like video game news and stuff. I don't really follow video games that closely most of the time, but I'll just getting right into it. Reading from the article, a team of developers who are working on a Bionicle fan game for years suddenly received a cease and desist from LEGO just months away from the public release of the demo, bringing all of those years of work to an end. There's an ad. The Bionicle series was once one of the most popular franchises LEGO had in the early to mid 2000s, with them making TV series and games to try and build out of the lore of the universe. However, the property has long been dead. New toys haven't been released in several years, and yeah, several years, yeah. And it's essentially a dormant franchise at this point that will never be brought back, at least on any official capacity. Enter Team Kanohi, a group of fans who sought to bring back the Bionicle series back from the dead. That is until Lego shut them down. So, just pausing from the article for a second, I don't know. I guess I didn't really feel it. I didn't realize the full weight or the gravitas of what's happening. But a cease and desist. I don't know all the implications of that, but that's not like that's not nothing. That's not like, hey guys, I'd really prefer if you didn't do that. That's them saying, hey, we're gonna stick the government on you. I mean, I don't. It's international, I assume, so I don't know exactly how that would work, but like that's like that's stuff. Like that's saying, "Hey, I will potentially put you in jail for this." Right? That's it's a few steps removed, but that is always at the very end of it. So that's not good. That's really not good. Anyways, continue reading. Bionicle Mask of Power shut down by Lego. Despite the Bionicle series being made for children originally, the actual lore behind the series is surprisingly deep. There are a number of passionate Bionicle lore keepers. That is an awesome term, and it's highlighted too. Who have connected the dots between every series and built out of the universe more than the original creators probably intended. Some people are very, very big fans of it years after the franchise was discontinued. Team Kanohi was among those fans, spending almost a decade on creating a game with their own original story that brings Bionicle back to life. This was going to be like a God of War. Originally involved a player traversing a map. So for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, I definitely recommend going and seeing the trailer. I'm not going to like play that in the video, but the trailer will probably make you feel bad if you haven't seen it because now we're not going to be getting it. It had original music, Animal Crossing like voice acting blurbs, and an in-depth combat system and level of polish that shows the work that they put in. Yeah, the game looked really, really good. I'm not a huge video game person, honestly. I play like Minecraft, and that's about it. Now I play like nothing, but I was looking forward to this. To be honest, I think the graphics are really cool. The characters look cool. Bionicles never really looked like this exactly. So, I mean, there's some games like on the PS3 and stuff that on the PS3, the PS2 that kind of had this like a similar, I guess like 3D animation style, but it wasn't like refined and like looking nice and clean with this like this. Anyways, despite our efforts to work with them, oh, wait, okay, so this is a quote. Despite our efforts to work with them, we have been asked to shutter the project in its entirety. Transparently, we are surprised by this development given our project's age and the LEGO Group's reputation for amicable relationships with fan projects. Nonetheless, we are beheld to their whims and have no choice but to comply, lead developer Jordan Willis explained. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this again because I didn't fully. So they were trying to work with Lego. They didn't want to like they weren't trying to, but Lego just wants to share the project. They said that so they're actually surprised by this development, given the fact that they've been working on this for so long. Yeah, it is really I'm not gonna swear, but it is a really jerk move on Lego's part to do this 8 years in. Like I don't think they should be bringing the hammer down on fans at all for stuff, especially when they're not utilizing the IP at all. I'll probably get into that more later. But especially like if you are gonna bring the hammer down, why 8 years in? Like I don't understand that. Like Okay, now they're just about to release it. Like, it wasn't a secret that they've been working on it for this long. I mean, maybe Lego didn't catch on to it until 4 years, 3, I don't know, but, like, there's been a fairly popular trailer for, I think, over a year or 2 now. Like, why now? Like, I wonder if there's some new people in charge of it, but anyways, continue reading. Along with this message, they shared a full walkthrough of everything they developed to make sure their years of work didn't get lost forever. However, things get more shocking when you scroll into the description of the video and see the extremely long list of developers and contributors who worked on the project. This wasn't just a few fans putting together a game. They hired voice actors, had VFX artists, concept artists, an entire 3D art team with a senior leader, UI designers, I don't know what that is, lighting artists, a team of animators, cinematic team, level designers, environmental artists, music composers, audio designers, and more. So they had a whole bunch of people working on this. Um, this project was massive and still planned to be released for free despite the amount of work they put in. It had to be free. I don't. I'll just put this now because I don't want to forget. I don't understand how Lego can get upset at them for doing this because, and this is just my flawed understanding of the way that copyright law works. But you you are allowed to make stuff using their property. You just can't sell stuff, right? Usually, you can actually sell a little bit of stuff. This is what people call like fan art, but that's technically not legal as far as I know. Because you are making money off of it. It's just the fact that most, like for instance, let's say like I'm making a Batman fan art and I'm selling it. DC's likely not going to go after me because I'm just not making enough money or big enough of a deal for them to go after me. But it doesn't mean it isn't illegal. It is illegal under copyright law. I learned that recently from a thing on copyright law. But they're not even trying to make money off of it. I guess you could say like the people working on it, or might some of them might be getting paid by the people in charge of the project. But like I don't even understand like where the legal authority for Lego to do this because like the whole cease and desist letter. I think that's like a legal thing. Anyways, continue. However, the dev team has officially opened their own game studio by the name of Unmasked Games and are already working on their own independent project titled Rustbound. This has been heartbreaking news for our entire team, but we're also incredibly excited about what the future has in store. I don't know how excited about anything after this. That is, anyways, and for what we'll get the chance to create next. We hope that you're all just excited as we are, reads their official statement. So while it's at the end of this fan project, these developers are still trying to make it on the chin and make something even better with the experience they gained working on Bionicle Massive Power. And it looks like that's the end of the article. So good for them. They're going to still work on that thing. I hope. I honestly am not going to follow it too closely just because it isn't Bionicle now. But the whole Rustbound thing, I hope that ends up being cool. It sounds like a lot of these people still want to work on something cool and do a cool project. And hopefully, since it's their own independent project, they can actually make money off of it. Yeah, this is really honestly just messed up from Lego. There's another article on it from, let's see. I swear there's another article. There's this one from here, and then there's one from PCGames.n. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure if this one has any new stuff. I'm not. Yeah, it looks like it's probably just gonna be mostly the same info. I just wanted people to be aware that I haven't read this one either because, like I said, I wanted this to be just my raw reaction. But yeah, there might be a little more tidbit or something. I'll probably mention it in the description or something if I read through it. But I'm not gonna read through another article on the video. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's like really important for me to go over. I guess the main thing is just like, why in the world is Lego doing this now? Like now seems very random. I wish that I could. I wish that we like. I wish we knew more about the internal happenings of Lego. I don't know. So maybe somebody knows that I don't know. That like, oh, well, it's because X person just got hired on or moved up in the ladder of the company, and they have this opinion, and so this is kind of where it's coming from. Because it's not like even though we think of like companies and corporations as like these amorphous blobs, like we refer to Lego as if it is a person. It's not a person. It's a combination of people who work for some amount of time. And so I would suspect that some amount of change in the structure there happened. It's hard for me to imagine it's just like one person was in charge of this the whole time. It's like, okay, now I'm upset about it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that. There's really no way to prove or disprove that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it says something about it in here, but I kind of doubt it. But yeah, this is really bad. Again, like I know I keep saying that, but like this is just it's kind of the main thing you just gotta say is just like you just gotta face palm over it because it's um. Let me think. There's anything else before I get into the next thing. Yeah, I think this is the main thing. Um, to me, there is a silver lining, which I know that's and with something like this, I don't know how much of a good silver lining there can be. But here's the thing that is good about it is that Lego cares about the IP. This is Lego saying, no, 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 no. Bionicle is ours. We care about Bionicle. That's stupid. I think that they're making a mistake. I think that even if Lego does have plans in the future with the IP, which is kind of where I'm going with this, why not support the project? Like I really like I don't know why. Like leave it alone. But I think if Lego's doing anything with the project, I don't see why not give it some funding. Because what you're essentially having is you're having a whole bunch of people work on an IP that you're hardly doing anything with. We had the gift with purchase a few years back, and we get the occasional little nod. And as far as I know, that's just like random designers who have a care about this franchise, just giving us little things. The gift with purchase probably less so, but it's not like top down Lego giving us stuff other than the GWP. So I don't really understand like why are they going about doing it? Like to me, if it's even on the table where they're like, hey, we might be using this IP in the future, why not let this fan game go where it might go? If the game's good enough, that might renew a certain amount of new interest in a lot of people who maybe weren't interested in Bionicle before. And that might put the pressure on Lego to go, oh, we should make something new. Like I don't see and okay, let's say it just crashes and burns. The game sucks, nobody likes it. What has Lego lost? Nothing. Oh, it's not like it's tarnished their image. Like most people by then they were even playing the game don't associate it with Lego as much because it's made by somebody else and it's a franchise that Lego hasn't done anything with for a long time. I just don't understand it. But having said all of that, I do think it does show that Lego does care about the IP, which makes me think there's something in the future. I don't know. I still think it's pretty unlikely that we're just gonna get a full revival of the theme. I think we would get a full revival of the theme if G2 didn't do so horribly bad. Like I think now or the last couple of years would have been a good time for them to bring it back if we didn't have a G2 when we did. I think that was just way too soon. It was something like 6 years after the last one ended, which means that most of the people who who were old enough at the time to be into it, or yeah, I guess young enough at the time to be into it, aren't old enough to have all the dispendable income that would have coming with it. It was not for time, and they marketed it back. Anyways, this video isn't about G2, but I don't know. I'm suspecting that Lego wants something with Bionicle, or at least some people at Lego. I really want to like. I would love to see the conversations that led up to this. And like, how do you just not feel like the biggest piece of crap for doing it? Like, really? Like I if let's say I'm just like a lawyer, right? I'm not like I don't let's say I'm not even a person who cares about Lego and I'm just working for them. I'm like, hey, we need you to send a cease and desist letter to somebody working at Lego. I mean, sorry, for somebody working on this video game they were working on for 8 years. Like I I'm like, what? Like even like say I don't care about Bionicle at all. I'm still like, well, I can't I just feel like such a piece of crap. Like I can't do that. But they did. Somebody did. So yeah, this is kind of a shame. Um, but yeah, I don't. This is bad. Um, anyways, moving on into here's the one thing that we can do as fans about Bionicle is I have this pulled up is on change.org. I'll try to link this in the description, but you can find it pretty easily. It's just change.org and then you can search Bionicle. There's one that actually came out today also or yesterday that has like 100 less signatures than this one. But seriously, go support this. Let's get as many people on this as possible. Actually, this goes over a little bit of what happened too. So you can read a little bit more about what happened. I'm not sure if it's any new info, but main thing is just support this, and then also post about it online or whatever if you have a decent Instagram following or whatever. Like bring awareness to this because if Lego received enough pushback, it could help. I'm suspecting not. I think this is one of those things that's like Legos put their hammer down and they're just not going to care. There's no amount of pushback that will do anything, but it can't hurt, and at least will help at the very least, it's a nice gesture to the people who sacrificed a large amount of their time and lives, frankly, to work on this project. So, um, that's probably it for me. Sorry for the bad news. I will work more on the Monopoly video. This definitely gives me some more ideas and kind of leads into some of the topics I want to go over in that video. Funny enough. So, sorry for the bad news, but hopefully this was I shed a little bit of light on otherwise dark subject. So, bye.